and then discuss some Dhamma. So find a comfortable and straight bodily position. And relax the body. We don't need unnecessary tension. As well as any tension in the mind, any disturbance, worries, fears. We try to let go, at least for a moment. And pay attention what's happening right now. What's happening in the body, the sensations. Also, what may be some sounds around grab your attention. Just notice what kind of sounds happening. Or any other experience. Whatever experience through all six senses arise, we just notice. So we just experience what's happening. Sometimes we tend to react on it. Some things we like, some things we don't. Also just notice this process in your mind. And trying to keep this awareness, presence, mindfulness. We will try to explore something. So the idea, or in a way the topic to explore, I would like to invite you to reflect on the how our mind recognize things, and how this process, through some proliferation, through some thinking process, will lead us to have our opinions and views. And this may happen very without our attention, without our awareness. Some people might say unconsciously, but it's just the level of our sensitivity to our mind, in a way. So in Anguttara Nikaya we have sutta called Vipallasa Sutta, and it speaks about different kind of. Maybe first we will define what is Vipallasa, and they usually translate it as distortion or hallucination, or like literal meaning that something what has been overthrown, like turned upside down and kind of overthrown. And if something would be like this table would be turn upside down, and the first person who come to Teams in the morning, naturally the desire would be to turn it proper side. Yeah, it's something wrong here. So that the Buddha call the tendency of our mind to perceive, recognize, and have opinion about something, and our recognition overthrown in a way. So we see things, we think about things, we believe about things, kind of upside down, literally. Distortion of our perception in a way. And this sutta speak about distortion of saññā, of perception or recognition, then distortion of citta, of the mind in this case, and distortion of diṭṭhi, of the view. So it's kind of progression. We will come to this later, how it's happening. So maybe first things to maybe reflect a little bit. When Buddha speak about this kind of distortion, like first one is start with seeing something as impermanent as permanent. So, and there are of course many interpretations. One interpretation can be that, for example, this whatever table or anything from like subatomical like particles point of view, it's always changing. Yeah, like we know from science. But this one interpretation, and it's very difficult to verify it on my personal experience. I have to believe to science. Yeah? I have to, maybe believe to some deep practitioner who, by experience, may see these things sometime. But another way how we can verify, and most of the time I would say it's very valid interpretation in terms of Buddha's teaching. Buddha speak about experience, how we experience things. So I perceive something as permanent, and it's my experience of this permanence. So things are maybe there or maybe not permanent. It's a kind of second question. We not try to challenge the reality. Is reality exist outside of my mind or not? This is not a question what we try to kind of discuss. And again, when I speak about experience, when Buddha speaks about experience, it doesn't mean that there is nothing else except experience. Because it's another extreme when people start to believe everything just in mind and you all not exist, you know, everything just in my mind. I just dream about this. So it's another thing. We're not going to the direction. But if we investigate our experience, that's a way how to be free from suffering. That's a very useful tool if we try to kind of see how this is happening. In this case, distortion of the mind, I perceive something, what is impermanent, I perceive it as permanent. So my experience of teams, for example, yeah, I see teams, and to me teams actually exist only in the morning most of the time. So, okay, like few occasions, maybe for Bhante Subaro is different, yeah, but for most of the monks, like, and all of you exist mostly in the morning. And then, to me, it seems like it's permanent things. In my experience, like, people in teams, very respectful, very kind of devotional, and very generous, and exist in the morning, you know? They like this in the morning, from my personal experience, yeah, like, I don't know anything else. So, but again, if I would start to believe that this is permanent, and every time when I come to teams, I have to see all of you. But I mean, even this is not true, like people change. But even like, if I believe that every time coming to teams, I would see someone. But then I would come afternoon, I would not see anyone, yeah? So it would be, so my experience, it may seem like permanent to me, but actually it's impermanent. Like now I see, now I don't see. Now I again see, so it's another picture. And this picture also, how I perceive things, would be determined by my personal experience. Like, for example, I'm healthy, I'm open my eyes, and everything bright, it's light, or green, and everything beautiful, and look like, the teams is like this always. But when I next time come and I'm sick, I think, oh, like, what is this, Malaysia, so bad weather, always rain, you know, typing. So, depend on my personal experience, weather and different conditions, things may change. And that's a good thing to reflect, because naturally we tend to to take things as permanent as like our experience exactly, and that's the gradation, what I say at the beginning, from saññā to citta and to diṭṭhi, from perception to ideas and proliferation and to beliefs. So I just have experience. By one time come to Teams, I have experience. So Teams is like this. Then I think about this. Maybe during the day or for some time I reflect, oh, I saw those people, they like this, or like so they were generous and something like this. And then I have a view. Like thinking about this, I have a belief that Teams is always like this. Teams have these kind of qualities. They are like unchangeable in a way. So in this case, this is a kind of distortion because I don't keep it open for the change. Like anyone can change, monks can change, people can change, and of course I would believe that all of you come in here and you, all the quality what you show in the morning, like attentiveness and gratefulness and like generosity, I hope you keep it during the day. I hope, but I don't know. To me, you all exist again in the morning. So, and just by this experience, I think very good example, any movie. In the movie, they actually, what they show to us? The one picture, then after some time another picture, after some time another, or one scene, you know, another scene, like something was happening like 2-3 minutes, and then if in the picture one character live whole life, for example, like from his birth to his death, it's like some movies can say to you, you have a perception, you know this guy, you know whole his life, but actually reflecting on this, you just saw like 5 minutes from his childhood, 5 minutes from his youth, 5 minutes from his old age or something like this. But all the story, they kind of meant you, in a way, kind of deceive you that you know this guy, yeah, you know all the happening with his life. And sometimes, if you're really there, something happening, you may even react, oh, don't do like this, don't. So you kind of become really engaged in this. So that's I mean, in the world, there are a lot of tools which kind of make this illusion and kind of deception even stronger. But even put aside all of this, just our experience already deceive us a lot. I mean, if we not take it wisely, if we not reflect on it properly. Like second distortion would be about sukha and dukkha, something what give you ease and happiness and satisfactory, and something what does not. So in things what does not give you satisfactory, we tend to perceive them as satisfactory. So again, we speak about experience, because satisfactory and dissatisfactory, happiness and unhappiness, it's very personal things, yeah? Everyone can, even food, someone may be very happy. I mean, even myself, when I'm healthy, I can take some sweet, and I'm very happy, you know, oh, sadhu, sadhu, give the good dana, sadhu, sadhu. But then when I'm not healthy, I have some stomach issue, I take the sweet and oh, like, why they give to me this, you know, I'm sick. So this is very personal things, happiness, and just see how my mind creates this idea that something give me happiness, something give me satisfaction, but actually nothing in this existence, in this samsara, can give permanent satisfaction. This is a property of this existence. But again, these things we doesn't have to believe just by trust. I mean, it's very good to have initial faith, to kind of have some trust in Buddha's teaching, but it's not the only thing. It's good to verify it. See, is it true that the Buddha says something is like have the nature of dissatisfaction? Can I find some satisfaction in this world? I mean, we don't have to chase everything what gives satisfaction, but even these small things, like reflect on my mind, what I perceive as happiness. Even interesting that one person, again, sick. I mean, I just recently was sick, so all my similes will be about sickness. Sorry. But I mean, we all tend to get sick, but then get healthy, then get sick. With old age, it's more. So it's natural. And in times of sickness, you kind of believe that once you would be recovered, then you would be happy. Then everything would be good. Like this sickness, it's the only things what cause you dukkha. It's the only suffering what I have. Like if I would get rid of this sickness, yeah, okay, I would be a happy person. I would meditate a lot. I would, you know, all this kind of things. But I think all of you experience this. Once you recovered, yeah, initial inspiration may keep for a while, but then you start go back to your patterns, like it's a nature. And our job to learn from these things, to get some wisdom, okay, what I can do better. And but here the point is about distortion and kind of, even in a way, misperception, that something what cannot give you pure satisfaction, you believe that it will give. So, and of course, it become like thinking like this during the sickness will get you even more angry. You become more averse to this disease, like, oh, this body, like, what to do? I really want to get rid of this. Again, if you want to don't have this body anymore and be free from samsara, it's one story. Yeah? It's a kind of motivation. But if you have strong dislike towards your body, it may cause a lot of physical disease. Like, I think one, I'm not sure, but one disease, they call it body kind of not accept itself. I don't remember the name exactly. Body try to reject, some part of the body try to reject another part of the body. So it's a blood disease or something, I'm not sure. And I would assume, I'm not a scientist, but by kind of believing these things that I hate my body, you may create this kind of thing. I mean, the body and mind, they're interdependent, and we kind of need to be very careful with ourselves. And again, on another extreme, if I believe that if I do exercise, now I'm healthy, I will be happy forever. So this also, I heard a few times from people who, even Buddhist practitioners, but very into health things, And like when you speak with that person about old age, about jara, that naturally everyone approach old age, and some sickness here and there would come. This is nature of the body. Person say, no. If you get sickness, it means you are stupid. You don't maintain your body properly. So in a way, of course, we can do something. We can maintain our body and do exercise, but to get this idea and belief that this is cause me ultimate happiness, this is distortion. This is what Buddha speak about, that to believe in something what actually cannot give full satisfaction, believe in this that it can give, and it's given me now. So good to reflect again everyone would have a different, in a way, tendency. I might have one ideas about something, what is happiness, what is permanent, and so on. Sutta speak about what can you identify with, like anatta, and also subha and asubha, something beautiful and something ugly. But we will go to this maybe some other time. So the idea is, from practical point of view, try to see how my mind tend to take things personally and attach with things as permanent or which give me always happiness. And once you reflect on it, on the detail level, on the view level, very difficult to trace it because it's so deep, it's almost unrecognizable. But on the perception level, you might just see, and before you taking your food, just to look at plate, or if it's different dishes, and see what actually you perceive as happiness. Because naturally, if you calm and there is an initial desire or maybe hunger, but you would see, okay, this maybe sweet things I perceive as happiness. This broccoli, yeah, they're healthy, but it doesn't give me happiness. So you may see where your mind, and then this is a starting point for investigation. You may investigate, okay, this is tendency I have, but this is really true? This is actually the question. The tendency actually doesn't matter in the end. But the question is it really true what I believe or not? And so I wish all of you to reflect and be free from attachment. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.